What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Hopefully, everything is coming together and this is actually fucking going out. I should have probably turned that down before we started this, but we learn as we go, right? Today is December 7th, 2022. This is the start of a brand new segment to the Bald and Bonkers lineup. Bit of a news update. Why did I want to do this? Well, for one, as Dakota Franson, founder and CEO of Bald and Bonkers Network and the Specialist of the Strange, it all falls on me how well this company does at the end of the day. My name's on all the paperwork, and dealing with those can sometimes lead to distractions. So, as Chris and I have been taking time away from the main show in order to focus on other projects to allow the company to start growing as I intended to, and to hopefully book some even more high profile guests in the coming months, it should also be we should also implement some time to at least maybe once a week discuss everything that's coming up, all the new projects from Bald and Bonkers and all of our affiliated companies, our business partners, all that fun stuff. And trust me, there is a lot. But first, we unfortunately have to address a bit of an elephant in the room. You see, over this past weekend, there was an impromptu live session that was done to basically discuss star seeds, swap stories with other contactees, situations of that nature. And unfortunately, there were some events that took place that raised some concern, and rightfully so. Due to the severity of the situation, that recording has since been taken down in order to protect our viewers, company interests, and more. The individual who became the center focus for the activity is doing fine. I was chatting with him just last night. Seems to be doing okay. And unfortunately, because of this incident, some rather ugly truths about individuals are coming out. It seems certain groups feel that my actions, despite the fact that I'm trained to deal with negative energies, my actions, which have been battle tested several times before, was the cause of the problem. Not the fact that they showed total disregard for a man that could have very well been suffering from organ failure for all they know, and could have easily died right there. Believe me, it is taking a lot of strength for me not to fire off like I've been known to do. I'll admit it, I can be a vindictive bastard, but unfortunately, this brings up a school of thought that so many people who take on an interest in supernatural subjects, it seems they are trying to displace their own self-image issues into a world they see as being fantastical, mystical, and all this. While there's a truth to a lot of these subjects that fall under the supernatural umbrella, their reliance on it sets a dangerous precedence that needs to be eradicated. Because several people have fallen for it throughout history, and it seems that these individuals don't want to learn any better. And it's been brought to my attention that apparently some things are being said. Once again, Dakota's being at the center of controversy, but the facts remain. As for anybody else who questions my actions during that live, if you happen to catch it, if you would like to have an adult discussion, feel free. If you would like to discuss any of the stuff I talked about a little bit more in depth, I'm more than willing to talk. I understand it seems out there, it's unusual, it steps away from the norm. And I'm more than happy to explain what it is that led me to certain conclusions. Because who knows? Maybe in a rational, I don't know how you can really put rational as a label, but we'll just work with it. In an adult conversation where all parties involved show genuine respect for one another, regardless of a difference of opinions. Sometimes individuals who were a bit more skeptical about my claims brought up points that maybe I didn't consider. And therefore, with that consideration in mind, I leave with a bit more to add to a checklist that makes me a better investigator, that helps me create better content. And overall, we still lead the conversation with perhaps even more respect for the other parties involved. Not gossiping like goddamn schoolgirls. Because seriously, some of my contacts within law enforcement who managed to catch that live were quite concerned about the details that came up. And while I want this company to be an open atmosphere where people can talk freely, they can admit to past mistakes without too much judgment, allow for a bit of discussion, but not too much judgment, to allow for an open and fun atmosphere for everyone, a level playing field for everyone. This company is being built to allow content creators fulfill their dreams without restriction. And we wanted to extend that to the people we work with, whether they momentarily help us out with a single project, whether they're a guest for a show, or whether they want to work with us in the long run. We're going to have difference of opinions. That's life. And we don't want to focus on constantly stirring up drama because it's just not healthy. It wastes time. It's not healthy, raises blood pressures and all of that. And quite frankly, the holidays already suck. Yes, I'm a bit of a Grinch, but this is always the time of year where, more people tend to lose their loved ones. This past Sunday was the anniversary of when I lost my grandfather. So I was a bit cranky. And granted, I was a bit ticked off and fired off at Chris. I'll admit, I've apologized for it because he started digging into a situation that he wasn't involved because apparently he's become the company secretary. Because apparently I scare people because I am not afraid to call out bullshit. And you know what? If that intimidates you, if you think I'm going to call you out, maybe you should probably evaluate. Do things because it's right, not just because you're offended. I mean, we're already seeing that with social media platforms, in which, again, this kind of bounces into what I want to build Bald and Bonkers as. Let's go with Twitter. Elon Musk's Twitter files, as he calls them. A lot of discussion on Hunter Biden's laptop. Now, the fact that this stream is going out to our Twitter pages may cause some friction. I hope it does. Basically, the short version of events is that Elon Musk revealed emails from within Twitter employees and corporate offices that fully admitted to political parties asking the social media platform to censor certain individuals that harm their political progress. Okay? Some of Trump's people asked them to censor, Biden supporters and vice versa. However, when it came to the subject of Hunter Biden's laptop, that was the subject of a lot of controversy with the January 6th insurrection. They found that, yes, Twitter actively suppressed information that talked about it. They were not asked to by any political party. Twitter went rogue. And this is becoming a recurring pattern across social media platforms, where the tools implemented to prevent the sharing of child pornography, violent imagery, like, heads getting blown off, death and dismemberment. People who share videos of some of the worst moments in humanity just for shock value. Because it's more important to whip out a camera than to help another human being these days. The tools meant are being actively abused. Agendas. It has been found with Facebook. It has been found with Instagram. Let's talk about the OnlyFans creator who fully admitted to sleeping around with Facebook employees in order to get her profiles back online. Let's go for the TikTok whistleblowers that revealed that if certain creators seem to be actively banned on numerous occasions, it is because someone in the censorship areas of TikTok has developed a personal grudge. And this is a situation that Chris and I ran into when we first started doing Bald and Bonkers. When we first started talking about kind of going off on our own and doing our own show. We ran into situations that, because people feared that there was going to be offense, we started supernatural events that have likely built up the foundations for a lot of modern mythologies and religions. We were being asked to not go into certain subjects. We were also being targeted due to the fact that we had problems with criminal actions that occurred in the active suppression of that information. And there's probably people that said, Dakota, I thought you were over that. You know what? I am. But I'm not going to ignore the fact that it happened. Because it further proves the point that people who actively step away from the publicly accepted paradigms of what should be are constantly targeted. I've warned people several times, if they want to take on entrepreneurship They want to take on content creation, things like that, where they're essentially anything that essentially involves them building their own image and business. You're going to stir up shit. This is why Gary Vee always says, learn how to eat shit. That was a nice catch. This is why so many motivational speakers full out say that you have got to learn how to take it if you want things to happen. If you truly want to make something happen, if you truly want something, you're going to find a way to, excuse me, goddamn. If you truly want something, you're going to find a way to make it happen. Maybe you don't necessarily know the steps you need to, oh dear God. There's a heavy fog in my area right now, so it's holding down a lot of shit. Anyway. I'm trying to recollect my thoughts here. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, maybe. I don't know. I blew out my train of thought. Anyway, as I was saying, dealing with this, going into the public image, it may start out as fun for a while, but you're going to catch some hate. You're going to catch some downright creeps. And Bald and Bonkers is going to start working on building a foundation, building a network, building resources to help people overcome these issues, utilize free or low-cost resources to build their image. I'll say when I got started in my stuff, I wasn't still in school, so obviously funding resources were minimal. With Bald and Bonkers, I would like to announce that we are going to be implementing press release services, book distribution, music distribution, logo design, social media help, all sorts of stuff, because we want to help people grow. So, yes, it's going to step away from the paranormal. Why is that? Well, because quite frankly, it seems like some of the ways people try to debunk others and cause drama in the paranormal community, hesitation on the, heavy air quotes, on the so-called community, is because people are intimidated that others may be more intelligent. They may know how to do certain things. They may be aware of what may cause the potential mislabeling of a haunting. More resources need to be done in order to correct that. Yes, they say that there's no correct way to conduct paranormal investigations. Well, for fuck's sake. Yes, the odds of certain paranormal events are statistically so slim, you're better off just trying to, win millions off of scratch-off tickets. That's unavoidable. But there needs to be some sort of regulation, some sort of foundation, some standards. And we want to build that. Build those resources. And we're also going to be offering courses to help get your story out there. Amazing things are coming. I don't want to dig too much detail into that, because we are also going into business investments to help increase funds for the company, because for some ungodly reason, Google is fighting us on monetization. So the merch will be coming back, trust me. The other hosts of Bald and Bonkers have already seen some of the early designs, because Dakota had a goofy screen. streak. There's going to be a bit of a restructuring in order to better provide better quality material across the board. And we're going to extend these resources out to anybody who wants our help. We're going to try to do our best to keep the costs low as possible because this stuff is hard. And we're going to try to network with as many people as we can to show that it is possible to come together to make things happen. When certain individuals start to build these kind of processes, it builds a highly exclusive network of people. You know, say like all these movie studios are sticking with certain franchises and reboots and things like that. Bald and Bonkers is going to be following in sort of a philosophical footsteps of the movie studio Legion M, which is trying to bring more of a democratic approach to filmmaking. And because of Legion M's round 9 investments becoming so low, it's the cheapest buy-in I've ever seen for a company. And I've been investing for a few years now. Bald and Bonkers is now a shareholder of Legion M. And with that, that allows us to build network resources in major company structures. With Legion M, they have a new movie coming together called Nandor Fandor and the Talking Mongoose, starring Simon Pegg, Minnie Driver, Christopher Lloyd, and with the Ruth Connell, Rowena from Supernatural, and with the recent voice talents of Neil Gaiman. Yeah. Oh, and Smith family, if you are interested, Legion M is doing a bit of a special where if you buy into this round, like I said, it's only $40, and it's been doing well for a while. My investments from way before we all met have almost tripled. They're doing extremely well. If you buy in, you can actually have the chance to get your names featured in the credits for this new film. Now you say, oh, Dakota, you got that? We'll be talking about, what about the documentary, We Are Light? I've been applying for film grants and talking with producers. That's about as much of an update I can give you, because I want to give this the best quality we can give. Try to give unknowns a chance to shine. Things are coming together. It's going to seem like it's all over the place. But once it's built, yeah, $40. That is low. Usually the lowest I've seen investments, I'm just looking in the chat here, so I'll show you what I'm looking at. Usually the lowest I've seen was about around $100. So 40, yeah. If you can go for it, go for it. I mean, hell, give me a sec. I'll put in the link to where you can go check it out for yourself. Maybe it'll show. You want to check out Legion M for yourself? That's the place to go. And it is with these investments that we help to build more contacts to expand to potentially even more resources, even more avenues to help as many people as we can fulfill their dreams. That's all I got for you. This is going to be a short little news segment, maybe once a week. Catch you next time.